Whether you're a Canon sheep or a Nikon nerd, you're likely sad with envy at what the grass color is on your neighbor's lawn. Today, we have a little comparison as we talk about the future of Nikon and Canon.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So we're on the Nikon Z6 III, something Canon will likely not beat this year. Huh? Just throwing that out there. 50mm 1.4 Z lens, and we're going to switch to the EF 1.2 version with the Fringer adapter on this, and then switch to the Canon C70 with that lens, speed boosted. So here's the deal. Nikon has been a laughing stock since mirrorless was invented. Like, they came out, Canon EOS R and Nikon Z6, and it was like, you both sucked. You weren't even Sony level. One had IBIS, one didn't, but the specs were so basic. One had no flippy screen, one had no IBIS. If you married each other, you might have made a baby that I could have fed some cornmeal to, but you didn't. But eventually Nikon got a flippy screen, and that's the only reason anyone's talking about Nikon. In case you're curious, it's not because it's the best thing ever, it's because you finally let us YouTubers see ourselves, and we're monkeys in a mirror, and we're like, what is that? And so we're making videos, and it's like, Nikon, pretty good now, I can see myself. But like, your autofocus is basic bitch level. Like, what? Look at all of this stuff. Just pay attention to those lights. You're trying to tell me that's phase detect? You're lying to yourself. That's contrast detect. This is a native Z lens. Stop lying to me. You don't have phase detect. But in order to match this camera on a Canon camera, you have to go to the R5 II, which costs how much? Comparison-wise? You're not in the same league at this point, but the specs are the same, kind of. Don't quote me on that. The 4K 120 has a bit of a huge crop in here, but I have 6K 60 RAW. You might have 8K 60. Okay, you're better technically. R5 II, would I trade this Z6 III for one? Immediately. As we will see soon, Canon color science is likely better than this. It's a very stylized look with the red LUTs. Right now we're in the film bias offset. I like it. It's kind of cool. Those are pink in this LUT. My hair is blue and my face is a mauvey brown. But like, whatever. It's better than whatever the hell you used to do. The problem is when you go to normal colors, watch my face. Watch the shine. If I just switch the LUT, boom. What happened to the skin tones, the highlight roll-off? Something's off. This is just the regular N-Log to Rec 709 LUT. That should work, but it's not working. Better colors though, that's red now. Face maybe normal, less blue hair, cool. But like the shine. Yes, I use Egyptian magic on my face. I'm not sweating, I moisturize at all costs. Stop it. It looks so bad. If I just focused for 1 minute on like ironing my shirt, maybe not vacuuming my hair with a 1980s invention that nobody bought, and maybe like paying attention to the scene and stuff, or lighting, get better light, we'd have a lot more dignity here, but we don't. And we're gonna switch lenses because that's the only thing that matters. 50mm 1.2, will there be more tonne? Will the colors change? Is it less sharp? I think we know that for sure. My God. Do we even deserve this? I don't think we do. Why do I feel like the horizon shifted? I suck at this so bad. So side by side, is the 50mm Z lens sharper? Probably, like how could it not be? But that modern lens has a vintage flair to it, so it's not like the sharpest thing ever made, but it's quite sharp still. Sharp enough for the human face, probably. And then if we widen out a notch, who has the better tonne? Is there more tonne in one of them? Dare we even dream it? In fact, let's zoom right in on that tonne. Is it swirling on the Canon but not on the Nikon? Yes, it is. I noticed that immediately. I was like, oh, we got the swirly tonne here on the Canon, but the Z lens has those weird misshapen balls. They ain't right. Man, have some dignity in your balls. But this could be your ultimate setup, a 50mm Tony 1.2. How close can we? Oh, Look at those tunny balls. That's the truth. So like Canon lens adds its own Canon color to your Nikon camera, and now you have some dignity. Not much. When it comes to Nikon and Canon, if you're trying to pick, like for 2025, who's going to be the better system at the end of the year, which should I get into, it kind of very much depends on what you're going to do with it. If you're wildlife, we're not even having a conversation. Why are you joking that that's an actual competition? Canon has like ghetto ass zooms, 25.71, like 7.1 zoom on a 500mm. Who even are you? I have a prime that's 600, 26.3. You're defeated, and it's much lighter. You're a joke. So like wildlife, Nikon all the way. If it's regular stuff like this, you might just prefer Canon colors, but your lenses are shit unless you go EF. But I can also do that. I can also steal your thunder and use those glasses. So like RF lenses are crap. They're modern. Just Nikon has like 6 lenses now, modern Z lenses that have a vintage flare with some pop. The 26mm 2.8, 28mm 2.8, 35mm 1.4, 50mm 1.4. That ended faster than my original estimate, but there's others. You don't know that there's not. 40mm 22, I missed that one. Huh? So like we're in the ballpark of that number. But what's gonna come this year? They're likely not gonna beat a Z6 III. I don't think that's happening. We're not getting a Z10 or something crazy. Like it's gonna be firmware updates, hopefully, to fix some of your bullshit. Give me a custom bank instead of that dial, left-hand stabby dial. Will you do much this year? I think some lenses will come out. We'll be like, wow, maybe 24mm 1.4, 85mm 1.4 vintage touch. I could dig that. Maybe a Pro APS-C, I doubt it. I wouldn't even want it. Hopefully we start getting some of that red integration. They bought a cinema company, and so far we've got the LUTs. I'm happy enough with that. But like we need more. Give us like red raw in here maybe. Like that'd be hype. Because your N-Log is quite bullshit. I feel like it's going to be a kind of boring year for Nikon. I feel like you gave us too much already last year, and you have nothing left. You blew your load, you ran too fast, you sprinted, and now it's like, oh, there's still a hill. It's like, what? Oh, shit. So like, Canon's going to drag you with a wagon to the top. Let us actually switch to the superior Canon C70, an older version of you. Why am I allowed to use this in my living room, you ask? I don't even know. Smooth autofocus. Older camera. Older algorithms. How come Nikon can't do that? Why don't you try phase detect somehow? Panasonic did it. You're not going to do it? Side by side with that monkey-faced goon. He does not have Canon colors. I do. I invented crayon technology, and he's just trying. He's like, oh, that looks nice. I could probably copy that, but he couldn't. He's stupid. He's Nikon. Contrast detect. Let's not forget that. No matter what LUT he tries, this he'll never achieve. When it comes to what will Canon be doing this year, I think they're going to release a lot of things. They have a lot of catching up to do, and most of it's not going to be that great. It's going to be a bunch of APS-C models, like not even good ones. It's going to hurt, but the R6 III is the one we should care most about, and I feel like it's going to fall short of the Z6 III. It's just going to be like, it's existing. It's not going to beat the R5 II, and that already, you're competing with the Z6 III. It's just so much more money that it's not worth to actually do it. But it is better, technically, than the Z6 III. I'd rather have it. But the R6 III is going to hammer time us all. Look, I know you're looking for work. It's fine. Who wouldn't want to work? I'm working right now. Some people consider this work. Canon C70 right now. And the lens. I mostly buy Canon stuff now. Thanks to you. I heard the R6 III is gonna remove the battery and replace it with a pink ribbon. The best Canon products are the ones that already existed a long time ago. Things aren't getting better in any company if we're being real with ourselves. Like Fuji makes the F-Log 2, but it's actually quite worse than F-Log 1. And then F-Log 2C, it improved in some ways, but it's actually quite worse than F-Log 2 was in a lot of ways. The reds get orange and strange. These aren't upgrades. Every autofocus improvement broke the system further. So like we're on this illusionary timeline where it's like, we're advancing. Wow, I'm faster than I was last year. You're slower and you hurt your ankles because you were carrying too much hot dog meat on your marathon run. You're like, I need the fuel. You don't need anything. Just advance our society, you asshole. We're getting nowhere. We're treading water. A7S III, has that been beaten yet? No. By Sony? Definitely not. 2020, we're stuck. We're stuck long ago. And I'm swimming, I'm drowning. There's sharks everywhere. I'm waiting for someone to beat anything. The XH2S, it matched the A7S III, that was cool. But worse autofocus than what you already had. You're just lying to us. You're like AI, whenever you search something, it's like, this is the answer. It's like, you're lying to me as a test. The R5 was not better in the R5C. It got worse in a lot of ways. That was not an improvement. The only improvement you've made, Canon, in the last 90 years was this DGO sensor and adapters that allow us to use your old, better lenses on your new systems. We're getting nowhere. Olympus literally doesn't make cameras that you can't eat. It's only camera-shaped food now. They make boxes of food. We're getting nowhere. So cool story on all your upgrades and new products that you've made, every company. Thank you for all that, all the work that you went to through your factories. And ooh, look, I made this. You made nothing. I'm not sure we learned a whole heck of a lot today, but all I wanted to do was test this lens, and as we saw originally, Canon versus Nikon without this lens, because he's a modern scrub bitch who's too sharp and has terrible skin. Then we switched to this lens, an improvement perhaps. Not as sharp, but he's younger. He aged less and backwards. He eats blueberries occasionally. If I have to predict who's gonna win this year, who's gonna wow our hearts with something like, wow, didn't see that coming. I feel like Fuji's gonna do something. They're due. That XH2S, that's pretty old by now. A lot of algorithms. It's gonna suck in a lot of ways, but something new is coming. Fuji, they have that medium format thing. That's gonna suck. I don't see, maybe Sony. Sony's due for something wowing. They're always like leapfrogging, but they wait. They're patient. They let the others catch up for a bit. So it's like, we've caught up to you, Sony, now, kind of. Most of the Canons and Nikons and Fujis do what you do. So now it's time for a Sony leapfrog. That could be fun. ZV E2 is what I want. Not some FX4, not an A7S IV. No 4s. 2s are what we're looking for. Other than that, maybe Panasonic brings us something fun with the S1H II, but I have a feeling they're not even going to match the A7S III, really. That's going to hurt. And Leica will announce a toaster. It's $700,000. It only toasts milk. I wish the background wasn't so bright, but I don't have any solutions to... Still not clipping? Seriously? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'll leave now. Canon is fun. Bitcoin is more fun to depart with to my wallet. Subscribe for more.